And then I'll play the music that goes like this. Nope. And we're back.
We are.
Oh, we're a little late today, guys. Sorry, I apologize.
That was to give everybody time to get ready for this Krampus-tacular.
The Krampathon. The Krampathon.
Krampathon. That's what happens after I lift some weights.
What the hell is that sound? That sounds... Oh, it's that. Okay.
That's electricity.
Yeah, I was trying to get the... Always with the bill. What did I do? Oh, no, I turned the camera off then. Hit the wrong button. Oh, Jesus.
We're off to a great
start.
start.
It's all happening, everybody. Welcome to the show on OTC Live. We're talking Krampus today. A lot of Krampus talk today, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all of the Krampus talk. I even have a I have a plan to get him on the phone with us.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, Christopher. Oh, yes. It's my Paul Bearer. Is it pretty good?
It's a little disturbing.
My Undertaker. I don't know, man. It looks like we're live. Oh, hopefully we're live. You know what? Whatever.
We'll just say we
whatever.
are.
Let me see if I can get a chat in front of me here so I can at least see what's going on with our friends. But I don't even know anymore, man. No. God, life. It's just every day. It's just more of the same old, my friend. I can't even deal with it anymore.
No.
Like Christmas is coming. So what?
Right.
Who cares? Oh, did you want to spend time with your family at Christmas? Fuck you. No.
Well, there's a reason why that happened.
Well, yeah, but still, it doesn't matter whether it's a reason or not.
Thanks, Sturgis.
It's not just Sturgis.
Sturgis is my shorthand for stupid people.
Thanks.
STU.
Thanks, Midwest in general.
And Florida.
In Florida. Oh, did you see the news thing about the girl that got fired from the Department of Health and then they raided her house because she had created a website that was posting the numbers that apparently DeSantis had basically been like, no, you can't let people know that there's this many people sick and this many people died. And then they had the fucking police raid her house and take all her computers.
Yeah. Yeah. Like she's not going to be able to just do that again. Like she didn't have it backed up somewhere.
Also, immediately went on Tucker Carlson show, or not Tucker Carlson, Anderson Cooper. No, who's the guy that's on after? Not Jake Tapper. I don't know, one of those. They're all CNN. They're all the same.
Sure.
They're all the same, except Don Lemon's the black guy, and Erin, whatever her name is the white girl. Everyone else is just a nondescript, attractive man in his 40s.
Anderson Cooper is the silver-haired gay man.
Love me some Anderson Cooper.
Yes.
I love me some Anderson Cooper. My favorite thing is when Anderson Cooper gets confused about something and just does the
yeah.
What?
That head shake is the head shake such a fucking moron.
Love it. And
anyway, so what happened? Who went on where?
Who went on what? Oh, so that girl, Jackie, whatever her name is, she went on immediately that night on I want to say it was Jake Tapper's show.
Okay.
But I think it's the one that's on after Anderson Cooper.
Yeah.
It's whichever white guy.
That doesn't matter. Tell me what happened.
Well, no, she went on and just basically he was like, so here's your opportunity. He's like, this is what they're saying that you did. They're saying that you sent out an email on this server, basically whistleblowing all this stuff that you didn't have, the legal right to do that. And he's like, did you do that? And she's like, no. And he's like, are you sure? And she's like, yes, I am sure I did not do that.
Oh.
And he's like, okay. He's like, why do they think that you did? He's like, and she goes, this is obviously paraphrasing, guys.
Okay.
She goes, well, everybody uses the same login.
Oh.
She's like 200 employees or whatever, 400 employees at the Florida Department of Health. Everyone uses the same login. And he goes,
wow.
And he's like, really? And then he goes, so rounding back about, you didn't do this. She's like, no, all I'm trying to do is get the truth out. She's like, Governor DeSantis basically wanted us to, downplay the numbers. It's not as bad as people are saying it is. People aren't as sick as they are because he wanted to be in Trump's pocket.
Right.
So, and it was all very simple.
That makes sense. That's the sad thing is if you apply Occam's razor, that makes the most sense.
Makes
he
all
wanted
of the
favors later
It makes all of the sense in the world. All of the sense. Anyway,
we're all gonna die because people like money.
It's true. I like money, but I like living a hell of a lot more than having money.
Because if you live, then you can use the money.
Very true.
But we're not the people they're talking about.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. But yeah, so this week we're focusing on Krampus. Not necessarily any particular film. I watched 3.5 Krampus movies for this week.
Okay.
But we'll talk a little bit about the history, I think, of Krampus, because it's weird. It's mind-blowing, Chris.
Is it?
It really is. Not the history of Krampus, but the fact that I went on Tubi to watch one of the films, and I just did a search for Krampus, and a dozen films showed up.
There's a bunch.
There is so many movies related to Krampus. It is unreal.
And they're all from within the same 3-year period.
Yeah. Going back to, I think the first one was like 2013 or 2014. And then between 2014 and 2018, or even 2019, there's like a dozen films of varying degree of quality, we'll say.
Well, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't say that. Okay, that's fair. Tell me why.
They're the same degree of quality, the ones I watched.
Interesting.
So, there's that.
I guess. All right, so I'm looking at my list here. So what we are going to talk about for Krampus movies today. Hold on. That's the wrong thing. Make sure I get the right one here. All right, movie list. Here we go. So I watched in full.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I watched 5.
Oh, no way. Why?
Yes. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. I watched about 3.5.
Okay.
I watched to completion.
Yes.
Krampus the Reckoning.
Is that the one with the white overbite one?
That's the one that for some reason looks like a third-rate animated version of a Ray Harryhausen skeleton with horns.
He looks like this.
Yeah, that's the one.
With all the fangs? Yeah.
Yep, that's the one. So I watched Krampus the Reckoning to completion. I watched
me too.
The 2015 Mike Dougherty Krampus film with Adam Scott and Toni Collette.
I've watched that.
And I watched Krampus the Christmas Devil.
I did not watch that one.
I watched only about a quarter of that one.
Okay.
I watched all of Krampus Origins.
I unfortunately watched that too. Oh, I'm giving it away already.
And I watched maybe about 20 minutes of Krampus Unleashed.
Unleashed.
Yeah. The cover of it, hang on, I'll show everyone the cover of it. Is this.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yep.
Spoiler alert, don't need to finish it.
No?
Because it's not good.
No shit.
No shit is right, Travis. Christopher, no shit. And I also watched
conversations that you having with your kid.
I also watched a couple of other Christmas films. I rewatched Elf with the family, and we rewatched Jingle All the Way. And I watched The Night Before. So I got a whole bunch of Christmas stuff to talk about this week, but we are going to focus on
The Night Before, is that on Shudder?
No, The Night Before is a comedy starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, and Anthony Mackie.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
It was pretty good.
All right.
It was pretty good. I'll talk about it a little bit more. But Krampus. All right. So Krampus is a real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, a real thing in terms of like it's an actual legend. It's an actual folklore character.
Few centuries old.
Yep, based out of Central Europe, Central European. So most commonly related to Austria and Germany, from what I gathered.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. Let's celebrate Christmas by beating children. That sounds like my people.
Jesus Christ. So the Krampus legend is essentially the anti Santa Claus.
Yeah, because this is something that always bothered me. Okay, so if you're poor and you can't heat your house in winter, right? Why wouldn't you just be a little shit and get a whole stocking full of coal, which is probably worth a lot of money back then?
Yeah.
And then you can heat your house all year There's no downside to that.
You make a good point, Christopher.
Now, however, when we introduce the Krampus, there's some repercussions
There is.
for your actions. So I like this idea.
Yeah. So Krampus, from reading from Wikipedia here, Central European folklore, Krampus is a horned anthropomorphic. Wow.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got there.
I'm impressed that I got there. Because usually I would get too into it and then be like, anthropomorphic figure described as a half goat, half demon who during the Christmas season punishes children who have misbehaved. This in contrast with Saint Nicholas, who rewards the well-behaved with gifts. Krampus is one of the companions of Saint Nicholas in several regions, including Austria, Bavaria, Croatia. I don't know why I said it like that. Czech Republic, Hungary, Northern Italy, and including South Tyrol and the Trentino and Slovenia. The origin of the figure is unclear. Some folklorists and anthropologists have postulated that it is a pre-Christian pagan-esque origins.
Well, I mean, obviously. There's also the idea that it's based off of or the idea is taken from Norse mythology as well.
Norse mythology, you say? Okay, all right.
It's possible.
All right.
You know, you just start mashing that stuff together, and that's what you get.
Right. Well, were you familiar with the Krampus character in general prior to like the kind of like explosion in pop culture with him recently?
Yes, let me look up the actual date of when I really was interested in the idea. There was an episode of a TV show. I want to say, when was it? So it was the season 1 Christmas special.
Okay.
And that would, the year on that was 2004. The episode was called A Very Venture Christmas, and it was the Christmas special episode of the Venture Brothers from season 1. Krampus shows up in the house. He's got the wicker basket with 2 crying kids in the back that are dressed like little Swiss Miss kids or Hansel and Gretel. He's got his whipping rods and really pink pointy nipples, and he's kind of he's kind of animalistic, and he just starts whipping one of the characters relentlessly. And then the clock strikes midnight, Christmas Eve is over, and he just gets up and walks out. And then they explain him a little bit. But before that, maybe I'd seen a picture or something, because there is folklore stuff, folklore paintings and images that go way, way, way back. But I never paid attention to it, and I never really knew about it till 2004.
Well,
so,
Chris,
a while before these movies,
right?
I guess,
well, lucky for you, we're in luck today, because if you've ever wanted to talk to Krampus, I was lucky enough to get him to call in via Skype.
Wow!
So you could actually ask Krampus any questions you want. So why don't we do that now?
I guess.
So, without further ado, here's Krampus.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Wow, you sound a lot like the devil.
A little different, higher end, a little more phaser action, but things have been busy.
All right, so how's this year going?
Really good. A lot of scumbags, a lot of shitty people doing shitty things. And as you've seen with the large number of movies that I've had made about me the last few years, I don't necessarily need to stick to the details of my actual story, which was to punish misbehaving children. I can apparently do whatever I want, anywhere I want, at any time I want, and not necessarily even at Christmas time.
Yeah, I was gonna. That's what one thing I was wondering after watching all these movies is, what do you think of all of these people profiting off your image? Isn't that some kind of theft going on there? And
Well, I mean,
do you like the stories that are being made?
I mean, I get paid anytime my name is used, so bro, it's like, I get the scripts at my house, I find out how much they're gonna pay for the use of my name, and I usually just sign. I mean, I spend, 10 months of the year at my summer home in Puerto Vallarta, and I just, I sign it. I don't really care, man. I'm like 10,000 years old, so like whatever people want to do with my name at this point, it's kind of like Bob Dylan, It's like, hey Bob, you want your song in this commercial for Popeye's Chicken? Bob's like, sure.
Yeah, but doesn't that cheapen the whole thing? I mean, what about the people that depend on you to be terrifying? Now you're just like, some joke.
Yeah. But, being terrifying is really a state of mind. It's not necessarily too important to me at this stage in my career. I mean, I've been taking my time and been writing some screenplays. I mean, I've been reading and writing screenplays for like 25 years. So, like, I know what I'm looking for in a screenplay at this point, and it's a check with a lot of zeros at the end of it.
So wait, are you saying you had a hand in writing all of these Krampus scripts?
I mean, I've ghostwritten a few. I'm not going to tell you which ones. Funny story, a lot of these Krampus movies are actually scripts for Hellraiser movies that never got made.
There was one actually that felt like the Craig Sheffer version of the Hellraiser movie, where Krampus is just kind of thrown in there as the reason for all this stuff happening. That felt like a Hellraiser movie.
Yeah, was that the one where, like, the little girl could just, like, set people on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's not very good.
No.
It's,
No.
I mean,
Did you write that one?
No. No, I
Did you read and analyze the script before you approved it, though? I mean, it is your name.
I mean, I signed it.
Yeah. Well, Nicolas Cage signs things too, so.
Yeah, he signs everything.
Yeah.
But, so I should probably get back to, like, not being scary at this point. I'm really glad that my voice didn't change randomly throughout this, because I definitely almost hit the wrong button twice.
So you're disguising your voice.
Yeah, it's funny because every now and then my voice will go I think it's like, this is what I should talk like the whole time.
Yeah, that was so deep I couldn't even hear it. It didn't register in my ears. No. So now I'm talking to a bunch of bouncing super balls. Look, you got to speak English, Krampus.
I don't know what happened. Damn it! I can't find the one that it was before.
All right, well, everybody wants to hear your normal voice that sounds like, "Hey guys, this is Krampus."
What's up, guys?
All right, so we're gonna go on talk about the terrible movies you've been in.
Hang on, I'm trying to fix it.
Okay, Boomer.
Is that better?
If you're a robot.
This is Krampus's answering machine. He's not home right now. If you could leave a message, that would be great.
Oh, man, I can't turn it off.
Pull the plug.
All right. Okay. Damn it. No, that Krampus must have got into the system right there. I don't know what was happening.
He doesn't know how to use the electronics.
Don't sell him short, man. Don't sell him short.
Well, he certainly can't write a good script. I'll tell him that.
Yeah, seriously.
I did tell him that.
All right. Which of these do you want to start with? Should we start with the Adam Scott Krampus? Since it's the one that's like
that one's either first or last. honestly, and I don't care which way we go.
Well, I guess let's just start with it first.
Sure.
So hang on, let me get the all the info in here in front of me so that I can at least get some of the details right. So I hadn't seen this before watching it for the show this week.
Oh.
Which I think I just kind of rallied out against the Krampus stuff in general, kind of when it came out, because I was just like, oh, it's another thing. But so this one, Krampus, 2015, directed by Michael Dougherty, who is best known as the director of, well, I guess Godzilla at this point, right?
I don't know.
Didn't he direct King of the Monsters?
I don't know who directed that, honestly. I didn't pay attention to that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah. No, he wrote it. Maybe he wrote it. He did something with it.
I don't know.
Director. Yes, Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Research?
Godzilla, King of the Monsters. He directed Krampus, but he is best known in our world for directing Trick or Treat. So this coming on the heels of Trick or Treat in terms of his directing stuff. This movie, I think it kind of flew under the radar a little bit when it was released. I don't think that the studio was really all that behind it. They were kind of like unsure about doing a Christmas horror movie, and like mostly
studios are real sketchy about that.
But like,
and they just fucking let it go.
But then they'll release garbage like Black Christmas 2019.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that's not shitting on Santa Claus.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And Black Christmas is just murders that happen to occur, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true.
At the time.
So this stars Adam Scott, Toni Collette, Dave Kirkner, Allison Tolman, a bunch of faces that you know. It's got the cast in this is very strong. But it's a very simple story. You have Max, who is the son of Toni Collette and Adam Scott. He loves Christmas. He loves the family get-togethers for Christmas, but things just aren't what they used to be. The family that comes and visits, they're not the nicest of people. They're actually quite mean to him. And he still kind of believes in Santa Claus. So
he wants to.
He
really wants to.
And we all do. Don't get me. We all do. So
magic would be great if it was real.
For sure.
And terrifying at the same time.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
So he gets into a fist fight at his school play because he said one of the kids rags all over Christmas. And the first 25-30 minutes of this is very much just a holiday, like a family holiday Christmas movie.
It's a downer, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's very much that, it's like, oh, things are shitty, but they're going to get better. But in this, they get way shittier earlier.
Yeah.
So he writes a letter to Santa Claus, and his cousins take it from him and don't realize they think they're making fun of him.
Right.
Which they are, until they realize that when they read it, it's like this really deep, heartfelt thing of what he really wants for Christmas. He talks about how
it's not just junk. He cares about the rest of his family, even though they show nothing toward him.
Right.
And that's what shuts the two girls up.
Right. Right.
But then it pisses them off when they read the last line and they yell, "Dad does not wish we were boys."
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if they weren't pointed out that they were girls,
you wouldn't even know. Yeah.
You wouldn't know. Yeah. Because they're dressed like tomboys.
Yeah. Jordan and Stevie are their names.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they make fun of him. He gets all pissed off. He takes the letter back from him and he goes up to his room. We also have Omi, which is the grandmother, old German lady, Adam Scott's mother, who's just cooking for Christmas and doing her thing. So he goes upstairs. He's going to mail the letter to Santa after he has a conversation with his dad, and then he decides not to, and he tears it up and he throws it out the window. And that's what summons Krampus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Would you like to take it from there?
It was the negative feelings.
Yes. So where do we go from there then, Chris?
From there, the power goes out, and there's a huge blizzard. Almost
immediately.
Yes. But you see the black clouds forming over the house, which is symbolic of the mood in the house and everything else. And they wake up the next morning, which is that Christmas Eve or is that the day before?
I think the morning.
Oh, it's the day before because they go through a whole night.
Yes. So I think the whole movie takes place once Krampus and his minions show up on Christmas Eve.
Okay, because the first day was the day before Christmas
Yeah,
Eve.
they don't
Right.
say,
Yeah. So
but
they show up for dinner, and then all the stuff really starts happening on Christmas Eve. Gotcha.
correct.
So they wake up and there's a huge snowman in the front yard. And like everybody in the neighborhood is away on vacation because it's winter and they're fairly well off. And that's a point of contention between the sister, um, Captain Olivia Colman and Tony Collette. By the way, it's nice to see her in other stuff.
Tony Collette?
The sister.
Oh, the sister, yeah.
But once I saw that Tony Collette was in this, I'm like, all right, she doesn't pick shitty projects. So let's see what we got. And the kid starts to get a little concerned about the snowman just showing up in the front yard.
Right.
And everybody's like, it's just the snowman.
Right.
So nobody has any idea that there's anything going on.
Right. And the other thing that was kind of weird was they were like the power was out. So like, and then the phones were out. The cell phones weren't working. So
Right.
like they're literally cut off from everything. And this storm comes in, this blizzard comes in like the out of nowhere and is like crazy right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah. The way the houses are frozen, we're talking like
The Ice
epic
Age.
sub-zero
Yeah,
temperatures.
like
Yeah.
Ice Age. stuff.
There's icicles at angles. Like it looks like somebody went through. It looks like Mr. Freeze went through with his freeze ray and just shot up the neighborhood, making sure not to miss a single spot.
Yeah.
The girlfriend goes out to the boyfriend's house to see if he's okay.
Right. And what I liked about that was they had a scene earlier in the film where she's talking to him on like FaceTime or Skype or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like a very like normal relationship. They didn't try to shoehorn in like he was like, "Oh, it'd be cool if you could come over." And she's like, "Nah, I really can't." But
Right.
it wasn't like a big thing or she was like going to try to sneak out of the house or like
No, they made it totally normal so that she's concerned enough and you're like, well, he's not a jerk. So
Right. And then also
what's-
she makes a good point with it because she's like, he's only a couple blocks away. I can see if anybody else has power or if it's just us. And they're
Right.
like, okay. And they're just thinking it's a couple blocks. It's just a snowstorm at this point. They're not thinking anything because we haven't seen other than the weird snowman showing up, but like
Yeah.
we haven't seen anything that would tell us otherwise.
Right. Although Adam Scott's character does say that he hadn't seen a snowplow or a sanding truck go through.
Right.
But that doesn't, I mean, that could just be, the storm's going to get so much worse. They're just going to wait a little bit more to do it. We've seen that here.
They do that. Yeah. That happens at my house. If there's a really bad storm that like, they
Yeah.
know there's going to be an end in sight or something. They might not come out until later on.
Yeah. They'll either get ahead of it or wait. So that part's not unusual. But
No.
while she's out, a couple of strange things start to happen. And the main thing is she sees something on a roof, something that looks like it could be a very big owl or an elk or a person in a very big coat.
Well, one of the wild things from where the wild things are, because that's what I
Once
thought.
it turns its head and you get a good look at its 4-foot long curved horns, yeah. And that's the beginning of the creature reveal.
Yes.
And this Krampus he's no slouch
No.
because she runs and he pulls a full-on tick from the comics running across the rooftops, keeping up with her. And they make him. Okay, the one of the things I really like, one of my favorite things is character design, creature design.
Absolutely. Yep.
And if this is an anti-Santa Claus or whatever you want to call him, he needs to feel like he belongs in that group of characters.
Yep.
So he's got a coat with a white fur edge. He's got jingly bells, all real old style ones too, which were really nice. So he jingles when he moves because he doesn't give a shit. He's Krampus.
It's true.
He's got hooves. So there's the anthropomorphic stuff and really long fingers because he's supposed to have claws. And like they reimagined the look and made him bigger and more menacing. but I think they nailed the feel of a Christmas monster.
For sure. This
Um,
movie, which is something we will talk about more later on, and we've brought up over the last couple of weeks with doing the Christmas genre stuff, is this feels like a Christmas movie top to bottom.
Yeah.
They
And you know what?
They don't
all
bail on the Christmas theme like
Yeah.
like a quarter into the movie.
Yeah. All it took to keep this thing grounded in the end of December was a little bit of jingle bells.
Yeah.
Because you associate that with Christmas.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So this thing is tearing ass across the rooftops, and it is, the sound design makes it sound so heavy. And like, you generally are like, oh, that girl's dead. She's dead.
Yeah.
She hides under a truck.
Well,
And it's the DHL truck from earlier.
Yeah.
He's frozen dead from the blizzard. He probably got caught in the snowstorm, and it was so fast and so fierce. He died of hypothermia.
He died of northern exposure.
Oh,
John Corbett,
all right,
everyone.
I'm quitting. So she hides under the truck, and Krampus lands, shakes the ground. Really, really impressive, I thought. And once he leaves, there's a Jack-in-the-Box left. And they don't show you what's in it, but it's real slow. The handle turns and real slowly plays the music. And the pop is delayed, and she screams, and I'm pretty sure that might be the last time we see her.
Until the end of the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was a good setup, because then you go back to stupid family bullshit drama.
Joe in the chat room says he'll watch anything with Adam Scott. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. That show he did with Doug Judy that got canceled, that they were
the
Ghostbusters.
ghost one?
Yeah, it only lasted like a half a season. I was into it, man. I liked it. But so now,
speaking of Adam Scott, real quick.
Yep.
There's a show called Moonbase 8 with Riley.
Yep.
And at one point he's talking about all his failures. He's like, everybody's had helicopter tourism business go belly up. I'm like, I got you, because that was the business there.
Yep.
With the Catalina wine mixer.
Yep.
Woo. Yep. So anyway,
so when we move forward, and now Adam Scott and Dave Koechner are gonna go out and try to find her. They're still like, they know things are weird, but they haven't seen anything yet that's gonna make it like real weird. And then this is kind of where things get there. So they go out to try to find her. They get to the boyfriend's house, and it's completely iced out, blown over. Like, nobody's around to be found. Everything is frozen solid. Coming down the chimney, it looks like something blew up out of the chimney. Dave Koechner says, or Howie is the character. Howie says, looks like Adam Scott says to Howie, it looks like a gas line exploded here. And so they're trying to figure out what's going on. And then they see something out of the corner of their eye. So he thinks it's the daughter. So he runs out after the daughter. And then there's like sandworms in the snow.
Yeah, you never see them.
No.
You never see what they are.
It was so cool.
Yeah, it's such a simple effect too. You lay all that snow down, and then you just have something that you're dragging under the snow to throw it up like that. And it could have been snow sharks. It could have been snow worms. It could have been eels. It could have been.
I thought it was Shai-Hulud.
Tentacles.
That's what I thought.
Well, tiny,
the babies.
Tiny
they were the
versions.
baby Shai-Huluds.
Yeah. So like they're doing like a Jurassic Park in the tall grass with these things, but they are fast.
Very fast.
Very fast. I got to give them credit for the speed they put on these things.
So needless to say, one of them, Howie, gets attacked by one. Adam Scott's able to get him free, and they get back to the house. And they're kind of like, maybe the kid should go in the other room with angry Aunt Doris. And they're like, shit's gotten real weird.
Aunt Doris, what a peach.
Oh, the worst.
What a peach of shit.
I love that Toni Collette was like, hey, maybe you be nice once in a while. You don't come to my house and complain about the way things are. And she drops maybe next year we'll have Christmas in your trailer.
Yeah. Oh, because the whole thing with her is the sister and brother-in-law show up with her.
Yeah, without asking or telling her that she was
Yeah.
coming.
And the sister's like, well, she came to the door with her suitcases. What are we supposed to do? And Tony Collette was basically like, I don't know, fucking tell me she was coming.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
Because that is a mistake on multiple parts.
Oh,
and
for
that
sure.
is so many families have had shit like that happen.
It's the worst. It's the worst. And it's always that family member that you don't want to be around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, needless to say, without getting into too much like splitting of hairs, shit hits the fan.
Right.
There's a lot of
things are finally revealed after the snow snake thing.
Yeah, and we get a better idea. Omi gives the story of Krampus and where it came from and how she's been up against it before. And it really, the thing with this movie that works, I think, so well is that unlike all of the other Krampus movies that I watched, there's a world that's built with it. And like he's got his minions, so there's elves that come with him, and then there's all like the like mutant toys that come with him. And there's all these things, but he's like the ringleader of like this whole like world that kind of comes
it's exactly like Santa. He's got his elves, he's got his reindeer, he's got everything, except this is all meant to fuck you up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Krampus is the Cenobite Santa.
Yeah, seriously. My absolute favorite thing, though, about the creature design of Krampus, and also to a lesser extent, all of his elves and his minions, was the decision that they made. And I think this is my Doherty's decision to do this, was to have all of those characters wearing a mask. So
the elves were terrifying that way.
Absolutely terrifying. And we're not talking like, like the actor was in a mask. No, the character of Krampus has a Santa mask that he wears over his face.
He like leather faces it. It looked like a real human face the way it drooped.
But it was so legitimately, there is some really fucking creepy stuff in this movie. Like more so than like half the horror movies I've seen. This is only a PG-13 movie too.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. That was the only way that Universal or whoever it was that backed it said that they would do it, was they came to an agreement that they would them and Legendary came to an agreement. It would come out as a PG-13 movie.
I think that actually works, because I think if you maybe, after seeing this a few times, if you had a whole bunch of blood and stuff in it, it might have cheapened the whole feel of it.
I don't know if it would necessarily cheapen it, but I don't think it's going to change the effect of it.
I'm just glad that when you get a nice good look at the droopy open mouth Krampus and the glowing eyes inside the offset ripped out sockets of the face, that it wasn't covered in blood, that it wasn't gross or wet looking, that it looks like something that like he picks that up along with his hat and throws it on.
Right. Yeah.
I also love the idea that he thinks that's helping.
Right.
Maybe disguise him. I don't know,
but it's bomb, yo. It looks real good. It looks real good. And I also liked that they don't have a problem with killing your characters off in the film, which was a nice change. And they're super indiscriminatory against who they take out. So like, you're like, oh, okay, anyone can go at any point. Who's going to be left?
Yeah, Keckner's even talking. He says at one point, he's like, "Yeah, this was 4 minutes out there, and I almost have frostbite."
Yeah.
So you could see that DHL guy in just like a lined jacket.
Yeah,
he did,
and it's not even explained too much what Krampus does to the people. So it's like maybe he takes them, maybe he kills them, but it's like there's a whole lack of explanation coming through it. But
he dropped that last one and the kid into a fiery hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Yo.
But then the kid wakes up. So I like the idea of that too. Like, it's not a one night thing.
Right. And I love that they held themselves to their folklore that they build in this movie.
Yeah.
All of the other movies that we will talk about with Krampus in this show don't fucking follow the rules. They don't follow their own rules. They don't give you rules, or they just like, but this one sets the world. This is what Krampus does. This is what he is here for. And this is what's going to happen. And
Yeah.
we're going to keep with that, you know, and we might make a little bit of a change, but do you really? Because the way it ends kind of kind of ambiguous in terms of like, was everything a dream? Did it really happen? Are they in like a purgatory now? Like there's this whole like thing.
I'll give a little spoiler warning here so I can talk about the end real quick. So spoiler warning.
Spoiler warning.
So at the end, the kid, the main character, I forget his name. Kid wakes up.
Hang on, I gotta
has-
pause you for a second because Vishnu's in the chat room hoping to hear some Rare Export chat. We did a full review of Rare Exports like 2 weeks ago. We went on for 45 minutes about fucking Rare Exports. Go
and we
back onto your
name-checked
feed.
him like twice.
Yeah, we loved it. Again, come on, Vishnu, man, you're better than that.
A lot of naked Santas, but
Jesus.
still good.
You're better than that, man.
He's just fucking with you.
It's on the. It was the live show. Was it 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? The live show.
Not sure. I don't keep track of
he
that
says.
shit.
He says I'm really not better than that. You motherfucker! You better show up for the albums show. If you don't show up for the albums show, I'm coming for you as soon as I'm allowed to go to Canada again.
So
I'm
you
sorry.
have a year and a half to hide, Vish.
He's turning 41 tomorrow. Happy fucking birthday! No, legitimately, happy birthday, man. We love you.
Yes.
All right, I'm sorry, Chris. Continue.
So he wakes up on Christmas Day and he has the beautiful,
Spoiler
nice-
alert! Spoiler alert, everyone!
I said that.
I know, but I
said
screwed
that.
it up because I started yelling at Vishnu.
Well, that's a spoiler too.
Did I start yelling at Vishnu?
Yeah. So he wakes up on Christmas Day and he has the beautiful, happy, nice, warm Christmas morning that he wanted.
Yep.
And then we do the pullback and he's in a snow globe. His house is in a snow globe. And for me, I think that's a be careful what you wish for
Yes, I agree.
kind of thing, because now that's all he's gonna do.
Yep, they're trapped there now.
Yes, on Christmas Day
Yep, forever.
with that shitty amp.
Oh man! But the thing is, they've all changed their tune. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
but they were forced to. So that's the other part.
But I like the
Yeah.
the ambiguity. Say it.
Anthropomorphic.
No. Ambiguity of that ending of like, oh, maybe it was all a dream, but maybe it wasn't. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
So Chris, I should have did it with the thing. Oh, damn it. Never mind.
Let's just come on.
Chris, recommending all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna recommend this. It's the best one. Hands down, it's the best one. It's got the best cast, it's got the best actors. Krampus himself is, if I saw that thing on my neighbor's roof, I would promptly poop myself. Seriously. And on top of that, after we watched it, my daughter Ripley turned to me and said, all right, that needs to be a tradition that we watch this every year.
Oh, rad. Very cool.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll do that. So I'm going to give this, for a Christmas horror movie, this is an A. I don't see how you can get much better than this. This is up there with Gremlins and Scrooged, and I'm not sure what else there is. The original Black Christmas, I guess.
Okay.
And the one from 2000. No. As a horror movie, I'm only going to drop it. It's an A-. I love this movie. And the creatures sell it. That's what did it. If Krampus was a skinny piece of crap looking dude, it would have ruined the whole thing.
Right.
He's a literal monster in this, and I really appreciate all the time and work they put into making him look, sound, and feel scary. And also, there were no shitty kid actors.
No. Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna give it a high recommend too. This was really good. We've watched some pretty good Christmas horror movies already this season. One of them was Rare Exports, Vishnu. All that I already suffered through all that old man dong once. I don't want to bring it back up again. I mean, but that's obviously very good. Anna and the Apocalypse is very good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But this might be the best one so far.
Mm.
I agree with you there. Adam Scott is great. I love him.
It's the truest horror movie of the Christmas horror movies.
Yes, it has the most distinct Christmas feel to it. It has a distinct horror feel to it too. I love the change after they kind of set you up at the beginning of it and then throw you into the world. Special effects, creature design, lighting. It's all top notch. It's all top notch, and it goes hand in hand to show when you have a director who knows what he's doing. Mike Doherty obviously knows what he's doing, because Trick or Treat is fucking killer. I even liked Godzilla King of the Monsters. I did too. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was good.
It was fun.
But he had enough money, and he worked within the budget that he had, and he didn't try to do something that was outside of what the budget was. Something else we will talk about momentarily. Yeah, it hits all the bases. This is the perfect example of a holiday Christmas cult horror film to watch. I love that the girls want to watch it every year and make it a yearly thing. I think that's fucking great. I think it actually makes a pretty good double whammy with Anna and the Apocalypse. I think the two of them actually go pretty well together because they get distinctly different feels. Too. Distinctly different feels, but they both have very much a holiday feel to them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it an A- too. I think this was great. I'm bummed that I kind of didn't give it the time that I meant to, or that I should have. For whatever reason, I didn't. But it's that good. It's that good.
Yeah, but with no expectations, didn't you enjoy it more?
You know, I did. Yeah. I had a number of people tell me that, no, you got to watch it. It's actually quite good. And
that was the first one I thought of when you said we were doing this.
Cool.
Like, that's one we should tell people about.
For sure. All right. All right, people. It's going to get worse from here. Let's start with, let's talk about the ones that both of us watched, which was, let's go to Krampus Origins.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh.
So I sent you a text that said, I made it 15 minutes into Krampus Origins and tapped out.
Yep. Krampus Origins. Krampus.
And you said.
One sec.
Yeah.
The Adam Scott Krampus is available to watch on FX, the FX app. You can buy it in all the places, but that's where it's including in streaming right now. Krampus Origins and the rest of the ones we're going to talk about are all available to watch on Tubi. Survival of the Film Freaks available on Tubi in January. Continue. You sent me a text that said,
yeah, let me go back and read this because
do you want me to see if I have it, or do you got it?
You wrote there are like 8 different Krampus flicks on Tubi, and I said, oof, I made it 15 minutes into Krampus Origins, and then I'll leave out the review part of it that's 2 words. And you wrote, I managed to finish it, trying to force down Reckoning, I think. I'll do those 2 so we can wreck on them.
Okay. So Krampus Origins, 2018, directed by Joseph Maha, written by Robert Conway, starring nobody you've ever... Actually, no, that's not true. Maria Olsen has been in a number of things. She was in Lords of Salem and a number of other things.
Yeah, you definitely recognize her.
Okay, so here's how I'm going to explain this movie to start. And I will illustrate so eloquently why Chris tapped out on it so quickly. So the film takes place during World War I, during the waning moments of World War I. Let me get this date right, because this was something that immediately devalued anything they were trying to do. I had it here. Where the heck did it go? Hold on one sec.
Wasn't it like 1919 or something?
Either, I don't have the exact date, but they put the date up there and they were like World War I, but the date that they put up was like a year and a half after World War I was over.
So 1920.
Something like that. I don't remember, but the dates weren't right. So we meet a small group of U.S. soldiers behind enemy lines that are helping clear out like leftover German soldiers or whatever.
Oh, sorry. World War I ended on November 11th, 1918.
And the date was like something, I think it's a December 2019 or it's December 1919. December 1919.
Oh, that would work. Because if it's a year, oh wait, you said a year and a half?
A year, it's like a year. It was like a year and a half after the war was actually over.
Oh, that'd be like June.
Yes.
Actually, May.
Whatever.
So yeah, go ahead.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Either way, the date was wrong.
Yeah.
Small ragtag group of American soldiers because for whatever reason, whenever you watch one of these movies, it's never actually like a big battalion of people. It's always like a group of like 6 soldiers because that's how the U.S. Army works is sends like 6 soldiers out.
At a time.
Yeah. Like in small groups. And I was like, okay, we know that we know this is cheap. Okay.
Yeah.
We then get what is possibly the worst After Effects rocket. Adobe After Effects is a program to do digital effects with. I have a very elementary understanding of it, and I could have made this rocket look better. But that's
because you don't use the one element. You have to put other things with it.
It's so true, man. This rocket goes by them and then goes.
Yeah.
But like it literally was like a rocket that would have flown the way they layered it in is a giving them something.
You mean slapped it into place? Slapped
it over they just overlaid it and it like it would be like an inch from their face and they don't even react to it. So I was like immediately I was like, oh, okay.
Yep.
All right. Hey, listen, low budgets. I get it. I've been there. I understand low budget filmmaking. I get it. All right.
Yeah. Although if you're going to have a low budget film, you got to have the story to back it.
Right. And there's another part of that I will get to momentarily. But so they're looking for the German soldiers or whatever. We then go into a German bunker. We know this because there's 2 gentlemen. They are gathered around a radio and they are getting a transmission from another member of the German army. We know it's the German army because the message comes in German. I don't remember what he said. He's like 9 Glockenspiel Florian. Like
that's about the extent of it.
It was German. And then the guy finishes the message and the radio guy goes, "Copy that." In English, he goes, "Copy that." To the German message. Copy that.
Yeah.
Chris, what language am I speaking? Copy that.
Right now?
Copy that.
I don't know.
Copy that. That's English.
Yeah.
He doesn't even say it with a German accent. Or if he did, maybe he did, but it was like, copy that. I don't know. And basically the message was like, the war, we're losing the war. We're done. It's over. Get out while you can. Save yourself, whatever. So the guy goes, copy that.
Maybe that was an American that took over the bunker fucking with him.
No. Because he then goes to talk to the general, El General, who has, of course, the most bootleg copy of the Evil Dead's Necronomicon in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like...
Was this one covered in black velvet? It looked or was that the other movie?
I don't know. Maybe. It doesn't matter.
Oh, wait. There was no Necronomicon in the other movie. This one looked like it was covered in black velvet, like they bought it from Spencer's at 1982.
Maybe. I don't know. There was actually a book of erotic fiction.
Same thing. I mean, it all depends on your frame of mind.
And luckily, this is the video show, so people can see this. He's got the book, and he's like holding the amulet, and he's like... 99999 like in German, and he's like chanting, and the guy comes over and he's like hey, so sir, I was listening to the radio and we need to get out of here, Commander. And the guy's like, not now, I'm conjuring something. And he's like right. And then we have another After Effects effect layered on top, which is supposed to look like a hologram of the Krampus layered there, like real bad.
I used to, when I first got Photoshop, and I'm talking like 2001, I would practice masking photos to make holograms, and that's 2001. What year was this? This was 2018.
2018.
Come on.
2018. So, so we have this really bad holographic Krampus. The guy being like, oh, actually, where's the, oh, like with like the worst sound effects in the world.
That was better than the movie.
It was. That's the thing.
Yeah, because I could hear it.
Because I paid for that fucking sound effect. And they're like, no, Commander, we need to get you out of here now. And he's like, no, Lucy.
Pretty much.
I don't know what that. Anytime I get that voice, it's just Lucy. And then the Americans come in and they shoot a couple guys. And then the other German guy's like, the Americans, they are here. Yep. And again, keep in mind, the message that came in on the German radio was spoken in German, but apparently none of the other Germans need to speak German to each other.
No. And one said, ach, you shot me in my sauerkraut.
He's like, ow, mein sausage. Ow, my burning.
You wounded my bratwurst.
My brats are burning.
Oh, wait, we're really close to getting into Sprockets territory. We better hold back.
It's the time on Sprockets when we burn the Krampus.
Yeah.
So, like, a couple guys get shot. One of the American guys gets shot, and then they're.
Who cares?
I guess this guy is summoning Krampus. But here's the thing. There's no story to go with this.
No.
Oh, no. He's not like, hey, dude, I'm summoning Krampus. He, like, whips children and puts them in sacks. No.
Great. How's that going to help us, you dipshit?
Right, because the whole history of Krampus has nothing to do with. It's not some, like, vengeful spirit, war spirit that you summon to help you win World War II. Like, right. Adolf wasn't in there like, you know what we need?
Yeah.
We need the Krampus. I don't even know what that voice is.
That's a good insulting Hitler voice. I like that one.
Guys, here's what we gotta do. Well, it's Italian. I'm a Hitler. We'll get the Krampus. He'll put the American army in the bag, and then he'll whip them with the sticks.
I'm only mad because the princess is in the other castle.
Hey, Ava!
Wow.
So needless to say, the Americans come in, they shoot the guy.
Yeah, because why not?
And then Krampus disappears.
Sure.
But they gather the amulet and they gather the book and stuff. And then we go to an orphanage.
Oh, no. There's the scene of all the American troops sitting there, and one of them's reading out of the book, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, what do you got there? He's like, how come you didn't turn that in? You can't just take things off the battlefield.
What are you, Hitler?
And it's like, it's a book. He's like, that could lead to winning the war.
What? You saw that weird 2D projection?
Right. But he's like, this could have the information we need. And he's like, it's like a kid's book. There's pictures in it. And they took it from him, which confuses me as to how it shows up with his possessions. I don't know.
Well, yeah. So we fast forward to Arizona of all places.
Sure.
Because why not, right?
Yep.
So we go to an orphanage run by nuns.
An orphanage.
And this is sometime in 1919.
Yep.
We are immediately introduced to the bitchy girl, who's she's dark skinned and is wearing tons of makeup that was not available in 1919.
Yeah.
She looks like she's like one of those models that when you go to Nordstrom, that they're like she looked like one of the cosmetic girls that works at Nordstrom.
Okay.
So, no, first of all. And then we meet Sister Raffus.
Okay, first off, and only. No, because every time they asked, where's Sister Rapist? I'm like, what? That's what it sounded like the first time.
It really did, man. They were like, the rapist.
It's like, come on. You don't think that's a bad idea? It must have been like a friend's last name or something that they used.
But I don't know. Because I'm the Krampus.
There was no Krampus in this movie.
No, there was no Krampus in this movie.
It's just,
Did we mention it's Christmas time? Because it might be. It might be. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yo, straight up, this movie fucking sucks.
This was such a piece of shit.
This movie takes none of the Krampus legend at all. Like,
because this is called Krampus Origins, and
but it's
he'd
not
already
the
been around for
origins.
centuries.
It's called Krampus Origins, Chris, but it's not the origins of Krampus.
No.
It's like they're trying to like will him out of the like book that he's trapped, but we don't know that. So that's not the origin of where he come from, because he's already trapped in the book or whatever, or the fucking amulet, because it's this fucking bullshit amulet that they're like anyone that holds the amulet. Why do I keep doing that voice? Anyone that holds the amulet like can't be hurt by the Krampus. But it's like, well, what is Krampus for? And they're like, we don't know.
Right.
We don't care. We need to. This movie sucks, and we need to have some type of hook. So it's a Krampus movie.
Yeah, it was probably written as a different kind of movie. Because first of all, the monster on the front looks like a Krampus, but inside we get some kind of demon Ares, God of War looking guy.
Yeah, hold on.
Whose mouth doesn't move when he talks.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Man, this. Oof. So this is the one.
Yeah.
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 That's not in this movie.
Nope, that's not in this movie. And there isn't a picture, another picture of it here to show, but yeah, they just none of it makes a fucking lick of sense. None of it makes a lick of sense.
So they read from the book. All these girls that look like they're straight out of the bunker from Kimmy Schmidt. And all of a sudden this kid shows up. What was the kid's name? Nicholas. Yep. And obviously he's Krampus as a kid disguised. Who the fuck cares though? Like all the kid does is walk around and make people feel shitty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, if you want a shitty Krampus movie, just look for Uncorked Entertainment.
Yeah, they got a bunch of them.
Their name is all over everything.
It's absolutely a situation where they just use the Krampus name and like, we're like, we know people will watch this because it's a Krampus movie and it's around Christmas and people are looking for movies to watch. I'm trying to find a good still of what the Krampus in this movie looks like. I can't seem to find
he's got horns and he's wearing like a 300 Spartan helmet and he's got glowing eyes and he's all jacked up and muscly.
Yeah. But he's not the half goat, half demon thing that he's supposed to be.
No, which is why obviously they were trying to summon a god of war to help them win the war.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess. Maybe. Oh, okay, here we go. Hang on. This is what the Krampus looks like in that movie.
Yeah, that's as he's transitioning from the little kid.
So we talked earlier about After Effects.
Yeah.
They did one shot of this Krampus. They made one shot of this Krampus and then they layer it into a whole bunch of other shots. And like it's seriously, he just stands there and he just goes. And then then there's one move when he's gonna like, I don't know, smite down people, he just goes.
Like, yeah.
It's so fucking stupid. It's so
all right. Here's
dumb.
the thing, though. Here's the thing. Now I have a bar for acceptability of monsters on screen, and this was better than the white spider monster from Veronica.
Holy shit!
Wasn't it?
I mean, yeah.
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 This whole movie was better than that segment. So
yeah, but see, I couldn't find enjoyment in this. Like I was able to fucking
No, it was
rag all over that. I can't rag on this.
boring.
It's just bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't care about the people. I didn't care about the rapist nun. Sorry, Sister
Raffus, Sister Raffus.
Kiss
None
my
of the
ass.
characters matter in this. None of them matter.
No, and I don't even know why they were. I mean, I get reading from the book if you're raised in a strictly Catholic, building. I get that. You want a little excitement. But like he didn't come out and like run rampant all over everything. Basically, this was 90% horny teenagers.
Yep.
5% the name Krampus and a dude in a suit and a
Yeah.
shiggy little kid.
Yeah, and some colored filters.
Yeah, here's some of the titles on the reviews. 4 out of 10. Okay, considering the budget.
Nope.
No stars. Wrong from the get-go. 1 out of 10. Bad CG, even worse acting. 1 out of 10. Out of the entire Krampus franchise, this is the absolute worst. 4 out of 10. Good in bad. 5 out of 10. Rather dull and low budget Krampus feature. 1 out of 10. Boring high school student movie. 1 out of 10. Star, star, star. All caps, awful. Star, star, star. 1 out of 10. They don't even know who Krampus is.
Nope. And the only way you know that it's Christmas in this movie is the fact that they were like, there's a Christmas tree and like a wreath hanging. It's the only
I
time.
didn't even notice that.
And they don't even, like, I think they mentioned Christmas maybe once, but
Yeah.
like Krampus is a character that Christmas is integral to the character itself.
And considering where he came from, snow is an important aspect of his character as well, because he's from a place where there's snow. So you're not going to get a Krampus in New Zealand.
No, or Arizona,
Hmm.
which is where this took place.
I can totally understand for budgetary reasons putting it in Arizona because you can film it any time of the year.
Yep.
I get that.
Yep.
Don't, though.
No.
If you can't do it, don't do it.
No.
So, Chris, what is your grade for Krampus? Origins.
What?
If I could punch a website, I definitely would have punched Tubi. Definitely would have punched Tubi.
Tubi has so much to offer.
They
and there's
do.
so
They
much
do.
amazing stuff on Tubi, and it's all free.
But this would have been just like one in the kidney or in the shoulder or something.
This
Just
no,
like,
this is no, this
dude,
is,
what the fuck are you doing?
this is a kick in the nuts, man. This is you give a low blow for this.
No. See, if I was to kick Tubi in the nuts, I would wait until I had finished the next movie we're going to discuss
Ah, fair.
and rolled all of the punches into the same thing.
Well, we know you don't recommend it. Is it an F or does it get the D- from you?
It's got a better monster than the worst monster I've ever seen. Which is that woman with eyes for nipples.
Here,
And-
nipple eyes.
And the literal crotchless anthropomorphic spider.
That seemed to have I have a penchant for anal rape.
Could you imagine how easy that thing would be just having to take a poop? It would just be like, it just falls right out of him.
Slip and
Because
slide.
there's no crotch. So no, I want to believe that they really thought they did their best.
I don't buy that.
Somebody in that movie thought they did their best.
I get the feeling that the director of that movie was like real proud of the work he did.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to give it a D-.
Okay.
I can't fail it because even though it does not have anything to do with Krampus, there was sort of a complete story. And the girl's reaction when she found out her husband died. All right, that's some good acting.
Okay.
And Sister Rapist.
Well, I'm gonna say I mean obviously it's
No recommend.
obviously not. Man, yeah, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And not in a fun, like, Like Veronica, like as bad as it was, I can chuckle at that. And I can kind of be like, hey, you should check this shit out because you cannot fucking believe where this movie goes. This
At least
movie,
Veronica was framed well in some points. Here it's like the camera was too high or too low. You get too much of the top of the doors or whatever.
it was just all so pedestrian. And here's the thing, like making a movie on a low budget, it's you got to figure it out. Like you got to look at what you have for money and don't attempt to do something that you're not going to be able to pull off because it's only going to look worse. And this movie is a perfect example of that in terms of you don't have the money to hire a good. What you're trying to show is like you're trying to show this monster and you want it to look real good. And like, you know what? The bad rocket effects, like whatever, I can forgive that. I can't forgive the fact that they decided to do this thing with this monster. And then, like, we don't have the money to hire a good digital artist to create it. You would have been better off just having the guy in the suit without trying to make it look better because it's so pedestrian looking. It's like it's like how we, our computer graphics guy got a job on another movie, and what are we gonna do? Oh well, I guess I'll try.
Yeah, it's.
I've never used it. I've never used After Effects before, but I'll try.
It's a fan film from 10 years ago.
It's not even that good, man. I don't even think it's that good. It's real bad.
I know.
I'll give it a D- because they were able to complete it. Yeah. And Uncorked probably gave them some money, and they used what they had. They just probably don't think used it in the right spots or didn't think ahead.
I wonder what the budget was for it.
$10.
For the After Effects license for 30 days?
No, you have to buy After Effects for oh no, you can get it for 30 days. It's like $200 a year or something like that. It's really not.
I'll bet if you look real close in the smoke, you'll see it's a trial version.
All right. Let's look at the next one that we both watched, which is Krampus: The Reckoning. Oh man. Yo. Oh God.
Oh my God. Oh, that's the other Krampus movie. Oh shit. I almost had a fucking heart attack.
What?
Krampus. Right? The Krampus one that we did first. The good one.
Yep.
Had a budget of $15 million.
Oh, okay.
Not a lot. But I had typed in Krampus Origins budget and it's popped up 15 million. I'm like, what the fuck?
So
what did they do?
All right.
They snort the budget?
Yeah, seriously. All right. So here is one of the poster arts for this other one, Krampus: The Reckoning. All right, Christmassy. He's holding.
Sure.
Yeah. That's not in the movie. None of that's in the movie.
No.
Here is the other one. That's the movie.
That is.
Except for the fact that it takes place somewhere in California and there's no snow.
Right. But that's my doofus Krampus right there.
Oh, this Krampus is the worst. As bad as the other one was, this Krampus is the worst.
Somebody had to model that in the computer.
Oh my God. So here, why don't you try to run with this one? I gotta pee real quick. So why don't you run with this one? I'll be back in 1 second.
Okay.
Vishnu will listen to you.
I'm still trying to look up the budget of Krampus Origins over here. Ooh. Anyway, so this movie, we start off with the grandmother telling the story of Krampus to little kids, and is this real, and blah 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 blah. There's some fire stuff, and then it's like a whole different movie started right after that, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but you follow along with it. There's like a family in a house, and they are not nice to anybody, and you have your little girl, and there's a tragedy, and the house catches on fire, and the little girl is the only survivor, of course. And then we have the social worker, the caseworker, come in and rescue this girl. Not rescue, but they take her to the hospital. She talks to her, and they try to figure out what's going on with this girl after after this poor girl's whole family, basically foster parents, have died, and you come to find out that she's been in a couple of different foster families, and they've all been bad. And she's in the hospital, not talking to anybody. So we have the woman that finally gets her to talk. The little girl asks her for Zoe, that's her name, asks her to get her dolls from the house, and she gets some pushback, like, "Oh, you want to take evidence, crime from a crime scene?" And she's like, "It's fucking dolls. Calm the fuck down." And the first, I think the name of this movie is this is Reckoning, right, Bill?
This is Reckoning, correct?
It should have been Unchained.
Oh,
honestly.
like that Dawkins song.
Yeah, it should have been Krampus
Oh,
Unchained.
not Van
because
Halen. Not,
she
Unchained
has this
Van Halen,
little
right?
doll. I don't know.
We don't know.
That's Eruption. She has this
No.
little Krampus Eruption would have been great. Like a huge crack
Krampus
opens up in the earth, and a bunch of Krampi start flying out of the ground. And
It would have been better if one Krampi showed up and then started playing electric guitar.
that would have been awesome. I think that's the end of Pick of Destiny. So this little girl has a Krampus doll that she made or has or whatever, and he's chained up, and we find out that this little girl summons Krampus. He's like her pyramid head or whatever, you know, protector, and he punishes the bad people. So
He punishes the bad kids and takes them away in a sack at Christmas time, right?
no, she punishes the bad parents by burning them.
Yeah. Oh, so what you're saying is it's Krampus, but without any of the actual things that Krampus does
Yeah, it's
Or-
Krampus
or-
for adults.
or looks like.
Just like wine is grape juice for adults, this is Krampus for adults.
Bark's here in case anyone was curious.
I see him. He's looking handsome.
Good boy. You didn't like the Krampus movie when I watched it either, did you?
No,
No, he did not. He was like, "Fuck this! I'm going to
that's
sleep on
not
the couch."
Krampus. So what ends up happening is first this little girl Zoe is a dick in the hospital to this girl with burns on her face,
Oh my god!
which
yeah.
makes no sense. I don't know why she was a dick about it. But then she finds out that the dad fell asleep or something and burned the house, so the girl's got half her face burnt, and obviously she's gonna summon the CG Krampus to come and torture this guy.
There's so yeah. Thank you.
He said, "You stop betting me. How
There's
dare you?"
so many things in this movie that are just like don't make any sense. So she's the one that's using Krampus to punish the bad people, but yet
Mhm.
she fucking sucks. Like
Yes, she's a piece of shit.
she's mean to that girl. She's mean to the doctor. She's mean to the cop. She's mean to the, you know, and it's like, there's one little part with the comeuppance where like when she first gets there and the guy with the glasses that's like the nurse intern,
Mm-hmm.
he's talking to the kids about Santa Claus and she's like, and he says something and she's like, "That's not right." And he comes over.
Oh yeah,
and-
he says that one of the kids says, "But we don't have a chimney in the hospital." And he's like, "Oh no, we do. Remember when we were out for the walk? There was that really big, tall thing." And the girl Zoe says, "That's not a chimney. That's a smokestack from where you burn the bodies."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me in a hospital."
Yep.
Um,
So he comes over to her and he sits down and he's like, "Hey, maybe don't ruin it for everybody else."
right, but he's nice about it. though. He's
Very
like,
nice
I
about
know
it.
you're really smart, but you know, we don't want to scare the shit out of these kids.
Right. And then he puts his hand on her shoulder
Mm.
and she looks at him and he looks at her and then he does one of those like,
Oh, he
Like,
gets like a dead zone premonition, doesn't he?
what's that? Is it Deathbed is the one that's got like the kid that's like,
Oh yeah.
it's like that.
Yeah.
And then we find out she sicks Krampus on him because we find out that he had, as the detective quoted, the most child pornography I've ever seen on one computer. So many terabytes.
Yeah. Oh, they trade it like baseball cards. Wow, Grandpa, thanks for that analogy.
It's so, but it's like that if they had gone with that she was like this like kind of like Avenger type character, and she was sicking Krampus on like these bad people. I'm like, okay, I can get on board with that, but that's the only time they do that. So then the other one was like, hey, ugly face. Oh, I guess I'll kill your dad for you.
Yeah.
What is happening?
I don't get it, but I did like, you know, the guy sitting in the car and he's got that wrinkled cigarette and he pulls out the lighter, and this is how you know it's Christmas. The lighter says Merry Christmas because only around Christmas can that lighter say Merry Christmas on it, I guess. And
fucking in the details, man. Christmas. It's in the details.
Yeah, and he lights his cigarette, and then we get Krampus standing outside his car with his overbite Simpsons fangs, and then the guy bursts into flames.
Sure.
Because as we know, Krampus is one of the X-Men. Oh, sorry, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. He's pyro, and he can control flame.
Yep. Turns into everyone's favorite Incubus song. Pardon me while I burst into flames. Had enough of this world. And it's mindless something. I hate that band. Yeah, yo, this movie sucks too.
You know what? Krampus Origins is not on Box Office Mojo.
Oh, shocking turn of events.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I had a little bit of a problem with the production company there, and had to sue them for the rights to the name, and we had to remove it from Box Office Mojo so that nobody discovered that it existed.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Krampus. I didn't realize you were still on with us.
He's always on.
He's always on with us.
Yeah, but it's on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, and so then we didn't even really talk about the doctor too much. She's, I guess, technically the lead in the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
So she's got a burn on her arm, and she doesn't remember what happened to her. And you know, there's something about this little girl, Ollie or Ovi. What was her name?
Zoe.
Evie? Zoe?
Ovi? Ovi's not a name.
What was the name of the grandmother in Krampus? Wasn't it Ovi?
I don't know.
In your face. So she's got this burn, and she doesn't remember what happened. And then the movie gets this whole fucking twist at the end of it. And spoiler alert, I'm gonna fucking ruin the movie because it sucks.
I thought it was going one of two ways.
Okay.
My first way was an Esther orphan way.
Okay.
Where the kid's like 50 years old.
Yep.
But this way was dumber.
No, this is dumber because apparently your girl Evie is a ghost. No, not Zoe, is a ghost of some sort because she's actually the doctor's sister, but she's never aged. And then apparently the doctor summoned Krampus back in the day. And then like she's fuck that. Fuck this movie.
The part that doesn't make sense.
I don't even want to try to explain it because it's so stupid.
Here's the thing that doesn't make sense about that reveal. She's been in foster care for at least 2 other families before the one she burned at the beginning of this movie. So what? They adopted a ghost?
Yeah, well, a spoiler alert, every time they look up her information, like she looks her information up in the computer system, and she's like, hey, what's going on? Orphan 800 number that I called. I've got the case number here, and blah, 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 blah. Whoa, there's no record of it. Well, I'm looking at it. Hang on, let me refresh the page. Oh, it's a 404 error.
But she goes to visit the other family.
Right. And
they have a photograph of her. How does that make sense?
I mean, it's not supposed to make sense because that's the thing. But the idea that like Evie was there to like take the sister back with her, but she was like, I know, with all these other families, like none of it. It's so dumb. It's so dumb and so convoluted. But it's better than Krampus Origins.
Omi in German, it's a little like Umi, U-M-I, which translates to mom. So
that old school Umi chicken from the fucking mall food court. Get that free sample. Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Umi chicken, man. I love that stuff.
I don't like diarrhea anymore, so
I don't know what you're eating.
I don't know. I never know what I'm eating. That's the scary part. So this was Krampus what?
Reckoning.
Reckoning. Okay. So Krampus Origins has a 17% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
That seems high.
Krampus the Reckoning, hold on, my old computer is catching up, 13%.
Wow.
Also, here's something I never complain about, but I'm going to right now.
Okay.
Totally unneeded, uncalled for, out of the blue, unnecessary sex and nudity.
Yeah, seriously. She's
Right?
and she's not a good actress. So I'm pretty sure she was the first actress that came in that was like, "Sure, I'll take my clothes off."
Yeah, but you had a sex scene in the beginning too
Yep.
with her foster parents. Like, what is the point?
I don't know, man.
Sex between adults is not naughty.
It's padding your time, padding your runtime. On IMDb,
Fluffing your time, you mean?
on IMDb, Krampus, The Reckoning has a 2.4.
Yeah,
And Krampus Origins has a 2.5.
yeah. These were some of the worst movies I've seen in the history of watching this show.
I'm glad that I was able to yell about them, though.
Yeah.
I can also give you the review of Krampus, the Christmas Devil, and Krampus Unleashed.
Okay.
They fall. I only watched like a half hour of each of them because I'm just like, I can't put myself through another 90 minutes of this. They are also Krampus Unleashed is a 2.4, and Krampus the Christmas Devil, which looks like it's the first one in the series. So Krampus the Christmas Devil came out
That's
in
ambitious.
2014, and I think Krampus Unleashed was the sequel to that, and then Krampus Origins is the third one in that series, if I'm not mistaken. But they're not related.
All related?
Yeah, but they're not related. But they're not related, though. That's the thing.
Okay.
Okay. They're all awful. They're all the same, and they're all the same thing. I will give Krampus the Reckoning. Not even give them anything, but I will say that at least they made their Krampus look different, and it wasn't just like okay. But as we didn't mention, it's a computer generated character, and it's real bad.
There's one point where it opens its mouth to scream, and the bottom jaw moves like on a hinge, and so does the front of its top jaw. It moves up into
it went like
face.
this.
Yeah,
like
both sides move.
Yeah, awful. So I will say that I won't recommend any of these Krampus movies other than Krampus 2015.
Right.
The rest, they're all terrible. I'm giving an incomplete to Unleashed and the Christmas Devil because I didn't finish them, and I'm going to give Krampus the Reckoning a D- also.
Yeah, I'm there with you. The other two that you watched half of, were they at least Christmas centered?
The first one, Krampus the Christmas Devil, was heading in that direction.
Okay.
Krampus Unleashed, that one, there was like this, I'm trying to remember, there was like treasure hunters that were they were like trying to like find buried treasure or whatever. But they come across this ancient stone that they use, and it's cursed with Krampus.
Sure. Let's just do whatever.
And he wakes up after like being asleep for thousands of years with a thirst for blood.
Yeah, because that's part of. Yeah, sure.
No, all terrible.
Sure. I actually, how difficult is this? All right, look, we've been talking about Krampus movies here for like 2 hours. How difficult is it after 2 hours to come up with a father or a mother believe that their child was taken by Krampus on Christmas Eve, and he sets off to find him?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a small town in Austria, and every Christmas, a bunch of kids disappear.
Yeah. It could even be from around the world. I mean, we can have this thing be an interdimensional being. That's fine, But then it's Krampus, and you don't have to focus on the Christmas part, but the initial plot motivating point would be it happened at Christmas. Yeah. So maybe a year's gone by and the police have done nothing, and it's Christmas again, and he's really depressed, and he puts a shotgun in his mouth, and instead he's like, no, I'm going to go get the motherfucker that did this.
Or it could be like his brother disappeared when he was younger, and he saw Krampus in their room.
Yeah.
like something like that. There's so many ways. I mean, maybe that'll happen in one of the other movies. Krampus Gone Wild, perhaps.
No, that's in Florida on spring break.
Daytona Beach. Krampus does Daytona Beach.
Yep. But now it's Corona Gone Wild.
I'm ready to go surfing and see some big old biddies. What up? Krampus out.
What?
I would be down for a comedic Krampus movie. Him and Santa hanging
I mean, the
out.
Adam Scott one had some comedy elements to it, so.
Yeah.
Joe's talking about a Krampus multiverse.
That was something that really pissed Rip off. We watched the good one. I didn't make her watch any of these other ones because I knew they would just piss her off.
You would ruin movies for them.
Yeah, and she said, "Wow, look at all of them. Which one's next?" I'm like, "None of them."
Oh, dear child.
She's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "They have nothing to do with the one we just watched." She's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "They all use the name Krampus, but they're all individual movies based on the legend." And she's like, "That's stupid."
All right, I'm gonna pull up IMDb here and run through. So we have Krampus 2015 with Adam Scott.
Right.
Top
of the hill.
Krampus Origins, Krampus the Christmas Devil, Krampus the Devil Returns, Krampus the Reckoning, Mother Krampus,
which I read had better reviews than the others.
Maybe I'll give that one a whirl. Krampus Unleashed, Krampschnaut, which it looks like it's a German one. And then there's a bunch of other ones here that I'm not sure are related or not. Krampus, this is a short. Night of the Krampus, Mother Krampus 2 Sleigh Ride.
Huh.
Krampus 2 Toys of Evil, Krampus 3 Hell Awakens.
Now they're just stretching.
Krampschnaut. Yeah, there's
a
lot.
You sure it's not Krampsnacht?
Sure.
Like
that's
Krampus Night.
So that's what, probably 15 or so movies?
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. Look how many vampire movies there are. And look how many of them suck.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
And how many of them get the legend wrong on top of it?
It's true. Good point. I can't do any more. I need to stop.
Yeah, no, we need to do a different kind of Christmas horror movie next week.
Yeah, so next week, more Christmas horror movies on the live show. Obviously, the regular show, we did Split Seconds and, was it Charlie Rose? No, not Charlie Rose. Charlie Rose.
The Corruption of Chris Miller.
That's available on the feed tomorrow or currently available on our Patreon at patreon.com/outsidethecinema. If you are a member of our Patreon, you got the invite for the end of year music show, which is coming up on Sunday, December 27th. The virtual invite to be part of this live virtual studio audience to take part in the end of year top 20 album show. It is there. If you're a listener and you would like it and you're not on the Patreon, let me know and I will send it to you. I will gladly do that because we want all the listeners to be able to take part in this, but we also don't want to put it out publicly so that a bunch of ruffians show up and Krampus up our shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You mean have nothing to do with anything and totally do whatever the hell they want?
Show up and have nothing to do with anything and ruin it for everybody else. Yeah. So that's about it for the live show this week. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. I want to thank Krampus for hanging out. Thanks for coming by, buddy.
Yeah, make sure you look me up on Tubi under bad movies. Thanks.
Cool. Want to thank Chris for hanging out. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, so next week we'll be back.
It was fun talking about it. It wasn't fun getting prepared.
That's the thing with when we do movies like this. It is so, like, it sucks so bad watching the movies, but then when we get to talk about them, it was like, yo.
Yeah.
Why was that guy like, copy that?
One other quick point. One other quick thing. When Krampus from the orphanage one fires his beam, there was no sound. No sound at all from the beam that he shot out and fired at people. Sure. And when they blew up, it went. That was it.
What do you
Horrible
want?
Sound design.
What do you want?
Good, like sounds for actions?
Fair enough. All right, guys, that's it for this week's live show. You can listen to it on the Patreon feed, or you can rewatch it on the YouTube or Twitch. So thanks for hanging out, and
Happy holidays.